Hey, what's going on YouTube? Nathan Olson here from yourcharisma.com, helping you create your brand your way. On this channel, we do a lot of social media marketing help as well as Instagram tips. So if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. One of the top ones on my 2018 watch list, it's going to be Waltonchain. We're going to be talking about WTC and the coin, their whole company, system, and product, and what they're bringing to the market, and how it will revolutionize storage and distribution chains. Coming up. Alright, welcome back. So, Waltonchain is formerly named after the RFID technology integrated with blockchain. It's named after the creator of RFID technology, Charles Walton. He got a patent for that technology, and really their implementation of RFID technology and blockchain is going to change the way retailers, distribution centers, and storage systems, chains and big manufacturing companies specifically more efficiently and ergonomically accomplish their tasks. And so Waltonchain basically is going to take these small RFID chips, radio frequency identity chips, and the reason they're using RFID technology is because it's more efficient and you don't need physical contact. So if we look into the way that hotel keys were first introduced, it was a key and lock physical turn method, and then it went to a magnetic strip on a card, and you would swipe it. You still needed that physical contact. Now we're at the point where you hold a card about 5-6 centimeters away, and it opens the door. So radio frequency actually doesn't need any physical contact in order to operate a mechanism. And the good thing about RFID technology is that the chips themselves don't need power, so you don't have to power the chips in order to sense them. You can put sensors inside a fixed structure and infrastructure and utilize it that way. So there's these small chips, and they're placed in items, and basically what this is going to allow is corporations to collect big data. So imagine if you could take one of these chips, and for all your items in your inventory, you had a monitor, and you were watching the way the chips moved in the warehouse. And over time, you collected enough data to see that certain products were moving in the lesser efficient way. Maybe they were in the back of the warehouse, or they were on the top of the shelf, and a different product is having less performance and utilizes less traffic. So with your big data collection, you can take your data from your RFID technology inside of the items themselves, and you can actually orient your warehouse in a way that it is the most ergonomical, meaning that it takes the least amount of labor in order to get a product from point A to point B, and you get it done in the quickest amount of time possible. And so if you can imagine this with Amazon has full mechanized warehouses where they don't really need people. They have robots going around and actually grabbing boxes and drones moving them around. Utilize that with RFID tech, and you wouldn't need QR scanners, which is what people and machines use right now as a QR scanner. It's still pretty efficient, but you can't track a QR code the way you can track a chip that's placed in all the items. So this way you could actually have a full network that is learning, and you would be able to in-place AI technology to utilize computer software in order to run the warehouse and to learn and to make it more efficient. You could even do as much as if it was a DOA, a digital autonomous industry, a DAO rather, it could actually retain a certain percentage of digital currency, and it could use that to accumulate new robots, repair old ones, get more items, restock your inventory would be a really good one, because you would be able to see the volume of items that move in and out based off the chips that the chips that you were reading throughout the entire time. You'd be able to see true and accurate volume. So you could have a digital autonomous warehouse that would learn to be more efficient and more ergonomical. It could then, if you implemented an AI, you could have it retain a certain amount of digital currency based off the transaction it does with distributions, and it would be able to restock when it saw sales of a certain item going up and the product in the inventory going down. They'd be able to restock at appropriate times. They would be able to repair and hire different types of machines in order to accomplish the tasks. It could even go as much as to put out an ad on a website or on the internet and ask for more warehouse storage, and it could accumulate a deal that way because it could be in contact. It could utilize smart contracts like on the Ethereum blockchain, and it would eventually grow and grow and grow. But that's just how RFID technology is going to change, say, Amazon in their warehouse. The benefit also for retailers is that they can actually see the traffic. So imagine if you had clothes in a Macy's, and every time a shirt was taken off the hook, your data collection captured that, and it saw that the t-shirt was taken to the dressing room, and you saw this repeated amount of times for this yellow shirt, while the black shirt over here only got taken off the hook and taken to the dressing room half the amount of times. So you would be able to order more of a more valued product based off your customers' interactions with your products, and you would be able to diminish your over ordering of less needed, less valued products in your store. So Macy's could then become the most efficient way in moving products. They would be able to order what the customers wants, be able to make predictions based off the items that are moving at a certain rate during certain times of the year, and they would have their spending to be very, very lean. They would be maximizing profits while minimizing as little extra spending room. They would minimize that as much as possible. That way they're buying exactly what they need, and they are turning exactly the profit. So that would be a very, very unique way to use that in a type of retailer. Waltonchain is very unique in the fact that it is going to be integrating this RFID chips with blockchain technology. So the way blockchain can be utilized in this system is that typically when companies make a program in order to operate the computer system for the inventory, hackers can actually get in there and they can manipulate inventory, ordering price, distribution addresses, and so they can really bring a large company down and kind of halt and disrupt all the type of normal daily issues that it could be occurring. And essentially going through all that code, because typically there's only one place for the code to be, and typically hackers or companies don't have backups. It's kind of like you might have an older version of it saved on your computer, just like a backdraft. So you'd have to go through each line of code and actually figure out where exactly the hacker went wrong, and yours could be out of date, it could be tampered with. So having a type of ledger system like that is actually negative because it would take longer in order to solve the cyber attack. So with the introduction of blockchain, you can have an open source ledger that is immutable, meaning that no one can tamper with a ledger that's on there. So once you got your code perfect for your software system, you could put it into the blockchain, and you would always have a accurate, updated, and immutable ledger system for your software code. So if a cyber attack did occur, you would be able to take an accurate ledger and actually go through and figure out where it went wrong. And that would solve a lot of problems for people that have cyber attacks on storage facilities. So RFID tech with blockchain, very good. There are some negative aspects to this coin, guys. I don't want to sit here and hype it up. Like there is nothing wrong with it. The technicals are very good. We've seen a lot of huge growth from the $10 to $17 range, and then from 17 to I think 35, and then 35 up to 43. But this is a Chinese-based company, meaning that they're trying to take a global stage in a global marketplace, but the government and economy that is based in China, they're very privatized. They like to stay to their own and trade as little inside and out as possible outside of the boundaries. So will this diminish their growth? We've already seen that China banned cryptocurrencies for a specific amount of time. So Waltonchain was actually halted in, I believe, September, early September, and they got released at the end of the month, end of September. So they were on a 3-week break. So just the government playing into the role like that, if something were to occur where the Chinese government comes in and, let's say, halts all ICOs, stops cryptocurrency, stops anything from utilizing the blockchain, or things of that nature, Waltonchain could be dead in the water, and then a lot of shareholders who think this has potential would see the stock price plummet because the company can't do anything, they can't further their development, so there's no point in having a stake in a company that has no future. So that's a negative aspect. Definitely the price is going to hit a lot of people in the pocket. I know I hold 100 shares at about, I think my entry point most recently was about $30 on the dip. So that's a $3,000 stake. That's a lot of money for some people to have only 100 shares in. A lot of people like to buy if you're playing lower price, say penny stock cryptos like TRX or Verge or Cardano and stuff like that. You can buy tens of thousands of shares for almost the same price. And there's a lot more room for growth in that. And the volatility down there is also very high. But I've actually seen a lot of volatility in Waltonchain. It can jump from $10 overnight to down $5, but its overall growth pattern is very high, and they're slowly making their way into a global stage, so I think there's a lot of potential behind it. I wanted to tell you guys about a coin that I think should be on your coin of the year list. Just watch it. Don't put any money in it until you feel comfortable and do your own research. This is not telling you to invest in a coin, or this is not a pump. I just want you guys to be aware of good coins or good companies and to just do the technical and fundamental research yourselves to come to an understanding of what it means to have a good coin and a bad coin. If you've ever heard of BitConnect, that's a example of a poor coin that took a lot of people's money and ripped them off. So just do your research. I'm not telling you to invest in this coin. I just want you guys to hear about it. If this type of company you think has potential, go do some research, read their white paper. They have a very good white paper, although I feel like it talks more about the RFID chip as opposed to the full integration of their tech. Maybe we'll see more on that. I've watched a lot of their videos that they have out there, so they have some good content. But we'll see the future of this coin. So guys, it's Waltonchain. Do some research on it and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Alright guys, stay tuned.